Hello and welcome to my honest concept ship review. Today we're going to be talking about the Crusader Spirit series, so we're going to cover all the ships in that series, so the A1, E1 and the C1, and we're going to compare them to their competitors, so the Drake Cutlass and the Freelancer from Minsk. So let me roll the intro and let's talk about it.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
The Crusader Spirit series is an attempt of Crusader Industries to dethrone the Drake Cutlass series from the throne that it holds as the best and the cheapest small to medium transport, utility and combat ship in the verse. But it also has a few quirks of its own. One could say that the Spirit is a direct competitor to the Freelancer series, but I couldn't disagree more, because the Cutlass Black is currently the best ship in its class, solely because of its great cargo capacity for its size, the size 3 tractor beam in the back, the metric shit-ton of missiles that it can carry, the great visibility out of the cockpit that only Drake ships can provide, the possibility of carrying 2 small-sized vehicles, and the price of just $100 US. And that's a big thing. The concept price of the Spirit C1, which is basically Crusader's answer to the Cutlass Black, is $110. Emphasis on the concept price. That only means that the price is going to go up as the ship gets closer to release. But firstly, let's go through the components that are the same on all of the ships from the Spirit series. All of them have a medium radar, a medium computer, a medium power plant, a medium cooler, shield generator, fuel tank, quantum drive, and a medium quantum fuel tank. So everything is singular and everything is medium. All of the models from the Spirit series also get a crew living quarters with 2 beds, a small kitchen area for the crew, and a shower with a toilet. That of course comes as standard with the whole series because it's all built on the same chassis. But as always, everything in Star Citizen is subject to change, so CEG reserves the right to change some of the components to make the ship more balanced. Also, one more thing that is important is that the maximum crew needed to operate any ship from the Spirit series is 2 crewmen. Now, when it comes to the weaponry, the whole Spirit series comes with 4 pilot-controlled guns and a single remote-controlled rear turret that the co-pilot can use. The pilot-controlled weapons, or 4 size 3 hardpoints, are set in the nose of the ship and on the right wing. Notice that both the Freelancer series and the Cutlass series have the same 4 size 3 pilot-controlled weapons on them, just as the Crusader Spirit series does. The Crusader Spirit also has a rear-facing remotely controlled turret that has 2 size 2 guns on it, the same as the Freelancer series, with an exception to the military version of the series, of course, or the Freelancer Mist that has 2 size 3 guns on the turret. The Cutlass series, on the other hand, has a top-mounted turret that can face both forward and backwards, and it has 2 size 3 weapons on it, just as the Freelancer Mist. So the Cutlass series wins in this department. And did I say that the Cutlass is $10 cheaper and you can fly it right now? Now let's take a look at the direct competitor to the Cutlass Black, which would be the Crusader Spirit C1. C stands for cargo. The C1 has a cargo bay that can hold up to 48 SCUs of cargo and a size 3 tractor beam at the back, which you would use to load that cargo into the ship. The Cutlass Black, on the other hand, can hold up to 46 SCUs of cargo with the same tractor beam in the back, but it also has an additional 2 side doors for easy access. The C1's cargo hold can also be used to store and transport small land vehicles, but looking at the pictures, I am uncertain if it will be able to hold a Grey Cat ROC because of the low ceiling in it. In the Q&A, the devs said that the C1 is designed to hold small land vehicles such as the Tumbrel Cyclone, and of course the vehicles that are smaller than that. Since the Grey Cat ROC, or the Rock, is a bit taller than the Cyclone, my thoughts are that you will not be able to transport it responsibly. The Cutlass Black, on the other hand, can store up to 2 Grey Cat Rocks without an issue. And did I say that the Cutty is $10 less and you can fly right now? Also, I must state that the whole Spirit series has a ton of unused space, especially if compared to the Cutlass series. Its top cross-section is much wider than the Freelancer and the Cutlass series both, and it's almost wide enough to fit both the Cutlass and the Freelancer in its wingspan. Now, this is important when it comes to any kind of PvE or PvP engagements, because a bigger cross-section means that you will have a bigger chance of getting hit. From the top, it's almost as big as the Crusader Mercury Star Runner, which can hold up to 114 SUs of cargo and doesn't have that much unused space. Also, it has like hidden compartments and a system of tunnels for lower engineering and more turrets and guns, and it will be able to do data running once that mechanic gets introduced to the game. But it's also twice the price of the C1 Spirit, so take that into consideration, and that's why I can't really compare the MSR or the Mercury Star Runner to the C1 Spirit. So clearly the Cutlass Black is the clear winner when compared to the C1, right? Unless you read the lore, and there you will find that the C1 will probably have one more trick up its sleeve. The Crusader Industries are known for designing the best engines in the verse, so you should be able to accelerate faster than your attacker and get out of dodge faster than in the Cutlass, for example. The maximum speed limit might be the same as with the Cutlass, but the Spirit series will probably be more responsive and behave better when in atmosphere. But the Cutlass Black is still $10 cheaper and you can fly right now. And that's where the comparisons to the Cutlass series end, because all the Drake ships are made to be purely utilitarian and or used in combat by pirates, criminals and militia groups. And you can't really compare the space jail of the Cutlass Blue with the executive seating of the E1. Both transport people, yes, but different kinds of people and to different destinations. So let's take a look at the E1. E stands for Executive. It is built on the same Spirit chassis as the C1 and the whole crew section is the same. The only difference is that instead of the cargo hold, you get a passenger transport section with a seating area made for 6 different passengers. And yes, you heard me right, 6. This huge ship for just 6 people. Now, we currently don't know if the passenger transport and the tax emissions will be profitable enough to spend $150 on a ship for 6 passengers. And yes, that is the concept price of this ship. And as I said, the price will go up the closer it gets to release. I can compare the Spirit E1 to the Cutlass Steel just as a meme, but the Cutlass Steel can support up to 26 people on board, and I'm pretty sure that you can cramp up a few more of them inside. But hey, the E1 has a luxury toilet in the passenger area, so that's a plus. And honestly, this covers the E1 entirely, because there is nothing else to talk about, except that, yeah, you have a glass roof on top, so you can look at the stars while you're like sipping on your space macchiato, spicchiato. I should trademark this. But anyway, let's talk about the A1. A stands for ah shit, we're fucked. The A1 is a completely different beast, and this is honestly the only ship from the Spirit lineup that you should even take into consideration. Now, everything is basically the same as the other two, with a small exception. Instead of the cargo hold on the C1 or the passenger area of the E1, the A1 has a bomb bay housing up to 10 size 5 dumb bombs. So if you're into genocide and carpet bombing, this is the right ship for you. Now, I must say that the size 5 bombs are not in the game as of yet, and we do not know how much destruction they will cause. But all that I can say is that the destruction will most certainly be severe. We currently only have the size 10 bombs on the Crusader Hercules Starlifter A2, that's a mouthful, but those are designed to take out whole towns and to make everybody jump once they spot one. See what I did there? Jump in town and... never mind. Now, we know that the size 5 bombs are going to be much weaker than the ones found on the A2, but also you get 10 of them, and I'm pretty sure that they will bring a lot of joyful smiles to the owners' faces as they bomb the living feces out of the enemy.
Tell me what about this was fun.
But that's basically it. It doesn't differ to the C1 in any other way, except that it has those bombs, of course. It does have something that resembles a radar dish on the top, but that's just the rule of cool, so I don't even know why it's there. The last thing that I have to say here is that even without the cargo hold of the C1, so if you decide to buy the E1 or the A1, there is still a small area in the rear of the ship, right next to the entrance, where you will probably be able to store an extra small land vehicle. So for example, one of the hover bikes or one of those upcoming motorcycles. So in the end, should you buy any of the ships from the Spirit series? Honestly, no. You can get them like the next patch after they drop, after they get released. The C1 is just too expensive with its like Warband concept price, and the price is gonna go up, and it just doesn't have anything more to offer than the Drake Cutlass Black. And then like the E1, I don't know, I see it as a joke for like 6 people, like the whole fucking ship for just 6 people. Unless it's really, really good and like it pays good to transfer those people or do like the tax emissions. But then again, we need to see that first. So like, don't spend your money on that, like on those ships if you don't have to. The only one that you should take into consideration is the A1 because of the bombs. But then again, why would you buy it if you can buy it in the game with the in-game currency, like a patch after it drops? If you want to support the devs, sure, but like also take into consideration that you giving them money for Star Citizen doesn't mean that they're going to work on Star Citizen, because their main focus is Squadron 42. So if you like that, and if you like that you played one patch basically for the whole year, sure, like who am I to tell you what to do with your money? This is just my honest review and my honest opinion. You do you, and you, like if you have disposable income and you can just like swipe your credit card and be done with it, buy all 3 of them, I don't care. But if you want my honest opinion, don't buy them. Just like wait for them to be released in the game, and then you can just buy them in the game. Or get the A1. If you really want one, get the A1. The E1, we really don't know a lot about the tax emissions and how much they're gonna pay. Like for 6 people, if that's it, if like one person pays you, I don't know, 5k per like run, it is simply not enough. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link down in the description of the video. You're supporting me to buy ships in Star Citizen so I can review them, so I can give them away, etc, etc. You're supporting me for being me and being honest. You're supporting me for buying lights and shit for the studio, like equipment and all that. So if you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link down in the description of the video. And again, thank you for watching. I hope that you liked the video, and yeah. Don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and mwah, bye.